Hi, welcome to another typology interview. We have Laura Miller and Nicholas Riley. Maybe I shouldn't have put your last name in there, but is it okay? We can keep going?
Yeah, it's okay.
All right.
Okay, yeah, good.
Okay, let me just share this quick and go over your types really quick, what's going on. We have Laura starting off as ISTJ in her blast. And then Laura is going to go to play and then sleep. So blast, play, sleep, and consume last. And then Nicholas is going to start off in his consume, which is Laura's last, and he's going to do the same thing, go to play and then sleep. So your middle animals are identical, and his last animal is Laura's first, and vice versa. And then both of them are going to have MF, so double masculine in their sleep, and then double feminine in their play. So yeah, let's dive into it. So
Cool.
yeah, so you guys are basically going to have complete opposite, like your demon is going to be the other person's savior and all of that. So same thing with the animals. So maybe I'm trying to think where we should start triangulating. Maybe let's start with NE with Nicholas really quick.
Okay.
How do you see your NE throughout the day? How does it bother you or express itself or save you or help you?
Well, I guess it's difficult to talk about your first dominant function. I mean, it's so it's like it's so active and just going on autopilot all the time. So I mean, I guess it's just how I experience stuff more or less. I don't know, making connections. It's a bit, it's a bit all over the place. That's what I would say.
All over the place?
Yeah, all over the place. And just because it's making connections doesn't mean it's the connections I'm making are true or good. So correct, I mean, yeah, exactly. So it's a bit annoying.
Filter out the incorrect connections, or you just don't care? They're all fun and good to have.
Yeah, that can be difficult. I mean, you have to. That's where I mean, I guess objective personality is really good, because I have to see if it's real in the sensory and in reality. Like only just because I see something in my head doesn't mean it's true, but it feels very true to me. You know, I think I'm right, or well, that's the default jump to like, okay, I see what's going on. I see what's going on, and then I'm done.
But so throughout your life, you've learned not to make connections too quickly, or not to be what's it called? Certain in your connections unless you do the sensory first.
Yeah, try to. I probably do it anyway.
Okay.
But
what about you, Laura? What about you, Laura? How do you see your NE express itself as a demon? Something similar, or?
Okay. I mean, kind of, yeah, because I do see quite a bit of connections, but I think it's in service of my SI. Because for me, I'm like trying to put things into SI order. So it's like, okay, this reminds me of this. This is similar to what I've experienced before. So it's kind of trying to relate something new back to my experience.
Back to your experience. So connections for you are always related to an experience or the present moment, or what?
Well, they're kind of related to what I already know and have built for myself. So like if I'm reading about some personality typology and they have another angle on it, I see like the different angles, but then I kind of compare them all to each other. Oh yeah, this is like this system that I know, and it's different in this way.
And so then how does that relate back to the SI for you? Like how like, do you feel that SI grounds your connections, or does SI disturb the connections a little bit because it's too strong a savior for you?
I think it can be a bit of both.
Right.
I mean, kind of depending on what it is. Like if it relates to something I already know and experience, it grounds me. It's kind of like more evidence for my understanding, or disproving what I understand. But if it's like too different, I can see something and I don't understand it. I don't know what this means because I haven't experienced this, or it doesn't relate to anything that I know about. How does it fit in?
It doesn't fit in. Yeah, you need something to link to SI for you to understand it.
Yeah,
Uh-huh. Do you see how that's a little bit reversed for you, Nicholas, or do you relate to what Laura was saying about that?
No, I would probably say I can see how it's a little bit reversed, and that I probably maybe connect things a bit to, or I would actually say that's. I would say I'm. I don't know. I would say it's a bit reversed, and yeah.
Like, what about so all of the like, do you need to gather a lot of connections in order to link them all to an SI, or do one connection is linked to an SI, or how do the connections connect to the SI, or you need many SI to link to one connection? Like, okay,
I think so you're asking, do I need to connect many things or just like one thing?
Yeah. How many connections? Maybe Nicholas jump in. How many connections do you need in order to link to an SI, or how many SI points?
I would say this is how I see it, and I remember we were talking about this in our last video.
Oh, okay.
I would say I make any connections pretty quickly, but if I can connect them to SI points, and the more I can connect a certain like abstract theory or something with my NE to as much SI as possible, I'll be able to get a clearer and clearer picture of what is actually happening, the reality of how it is. And this is also a reason why I think many lead NEs type themselves as NI, because the NE and SI kind of work together. When an NE DOM is very deep into a subject, I feel that their NE and SI kind of merge a bit and kind of look like NI. And NE and SI merge a bit and kind of start looking like NI. And that is
because it becomes one concept that you're going into, not many.
More or less, the NE and SI starts working together to form to get the bigger picture. But in the beginning, the NI is just all over the place, and so this only applies if you're NE DOM and you're really into a subject. Not any scatterbrain all over the place, picking up new things, trying to learn new things all the time.
So this is something you've had to learn over time to get to this.
Yeah. But I can 100% see any people thinking they're lead NI because of this, because that's something we're seeing quite a lot.
Right. What about you, Laura? When you have a concept, do you get one concept at a time, or do you have many concepts bombarding you, or how does that work?
I guess it can be both. I think I'm more likely to focus on one at a time and then really try to understand that before going on to something else.
Right. And like, does it express itself as a demon? Like, does it show you negative possibilities, and does it cause fear when that happens?
It can be both. It can be both positive and negative.
Right.
I mean, it depends on what the concept. It depends on what the concept is. I mean, like for personality typology, for example. I mean that's my area of interest and focus. So I'm not seeing any, negative possibilities there. I'm seeing more positive possibilities, and trying to understand things better and trying to link things and trying to see new ways to understand myself,
right,
and other people, and new way in different ways that I could approach personal growth. So those are positive possibilities.
Yeah.
I guess the negative possibilities would be, well, like if I'm trying to understand the concepts of world politics or something like that, I could see how that could be, how that could be negative,
Yeah, it
but
could
the
scare you.
country
So
could be
I
going
remember
in
in the
this
Facebook,
direction, and I don't want that to happen. So
yeah.
that'd be a more negative example.
I remember in the Facebook group when we posted your last interview, you kind of had a little bit of a tidal wave based on that last interview, based on the types of responses and things that were coming in. Does that kind of thing happen often where you like latch on to like a negative concept and just freak out about it? Because like you got over it really quick. I was really impressed. But
I don't even remember what the tidal wave was.
oh, you were like
I had a tidal wave?
Yeah.
Tell us. I want to know.
Yeah. It was like, because you were comparing it to another video and you're like, why is my video getting less responses than the other?
Oh, that one. Oh
So
gosh.
you got over it really quick.
Yeah, that tidal wave. Okay.
But like,
yeah.
was that like a connection understanding that like a demon understanding that you made and got afraid of and then you had to overcome it, or?
Well, it wasn't so much fear, really. I was just kind of wondering, why more people seem more interested in this other video, and I'm like, well, is it because people aren't interested in what ISTJs have to say? Are they more interested in that? And then later on, I felt kind of embarrassed that I even posted something like that because there's so many different factors, and it could have just been a timing thing, and
so like what about
and the thing is, I did another interview with Kendrick, and so that one was actually first, so they kind of already already knew me, and I posted some videos.
But I mean, it's
on Facebook. So whereas some of these other people that they hadn't been interviewed before, so now I can see why it makes
right.
But it's also
it makes sense. Yeah. So
sorry, go ahead.
I misunderstood you. I thought you meant the tidal wave we had during the video, and then that's where I got confused. Because I don't recall any tidal waves during our interview. This was just some other thing. But like.
No, but I mean, it's hard for putting yourself out on the internet like this and have loads of people watching the videos. I mean, it's something new for me as well. It is you kind of get a bit. I understand that you can react that way and feel that you're there watching, trying to figure out how people are perceiving you and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. What about like fear of heights or fear of spiders or rats or something? Do you have something like that, Laura?
Not those fears specifically. I mean, if there's one right in front of me, I might freak out a little bit, like a rat or a spider. But like if I'm gonna go outside, I don't think about, there could be a rat, there could be a spider.
No, but like, is there a specific fear like that you have?
It's more, I guess, sometimes I fear things like I could get some really debilitating disease, and it would disable me. I could no longer be self-sufficient. I would be in a lot of pain. I die way before my time.
Right.
Sometimes I'll think those morbid thoughts.
Right. Those are connections. Those are understandings that can be negative. So like, do they cause tidal waves, that sort of thing?
I don't know if it's really a tidal wave. It's just more inner anxiety that I feel. It's like, this is an anxious, unpleasant thought.
Right. Do you have any insight into that process, Nicholas, from seeing it on the other side, or?
I mean, having anxious about thoughts, or?
Yeah, like seeing negative possibilities. Do they make you anxious?
Yeah. Absolutely. I've had a lot of problems with that, especially when growing up. I think But it's unique for everyone. But
Right.
I think Annie has a bit of a role in it. I mean, I was pretty paranoid and on edge because I was. But then again, I think that also has to do with my upbringing. Maybe I was a bit. I don't know, scared, and that's a reason maybe why I was seeing things. Maybe if I wasn't as scared, I might have seen different things, and that's maybe the case. That's probably the case now. I mean, so yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Can be pretty personal. I don't know if it's yeah,
Well,
if it's strictly type related.
Well, I was wondering how maybe like the NE could cause that, because like seeing many possibilities, and some of them might be more emotionally triggering than others.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. That's definitely the case, and yeah, and as I said before, I mean, many of the things the patterns you see, absolutely don't have to be true. But you might believe they are.
You might believe they are.
Actually, no, I can think of one example that is kind of triggering for me. So it's at work when like the manager comes up to me and says, "Can you meet me in my office?" And then I just start getting really anxious, and I start to panic because it's like, okay,
what did he want? Yeah.
What did he do wrong? I don't know. There's not enough information here. Is it something? Am I going to get a reprimand? Am I going to get fired? And then just having that anxiety.
Right. So I realize now that I was asking the question in a wrong way for you, because like you need that sensory in order to explain that negative possibility. So I should have been more asking about a sensory rather.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm probably
sometimes that's true, because sometimes somebody will ask me like a really, really general question. I'm like, no, I don't know. I need to think about it. But then when there's some sensory,
and
then
you
it's
were
like,
able
okay,
to tie it
now I've got.
And I'm probably the opposite there with being too like for example, if my boss were to call me into his office, I'd be okay. I've been waiting for this. Like I've already figured out that that's going to happen. And sometimes, sometimes I'll think it happen. I think it will happen, even though it won't happen. You see, that's where NE fucks you up, because you're going too far. You're making things up that aren't SI true. But sometimes you're right, sometimes you're not.
Yeah, or sometimes when it's like totally unexpected, like what did I do, or what caused this? You know, some colleague of mine wasn't happy about the way I did something, and I didn't see it coming, and that's what freaks me out. You know, when it's totally unexpected like that.
So what I'm getting here is like it's also to do with maybe your OE, like it's a demon OE in general, but like you have a difficulty seeing what's coming, and you freak out when something comes because you didn't see it coming. And then Nicholas is like always looking at what's coming, and he's less connected. Yeah, in the opposite way.
Well, the thing is though, is sometimes I do worry a lot about what's coming, or what could possibly come, but I can't always predict it. Right. Or it's like, well, something's going to come. This might be unpleasant or anxiety provoking, and then I start expecting, like I remember I was worried about my performance review at work. What if it's not good? And it turned out to be really good overall. It was just one little area that they thought I needed to improve on. Yeah. But it was like I was worried about that. And because sometimes I don't have an accurate sense of how others are seeing me. Sometimes I don't always read subtext very well. Maybe this is a demon anything. Yeah, so sometimes people need to directly tell me, if they don't like something I'm doing, or I may not pick it up otherwise. But then on the other hand, I'm really sensitive to like really harsh language, like because I'm sensitive, you know,
The FI, yeah.
even FI, put it softly, you know, but
Right.
so it's.
So that
I don't
FI
know.
is going to be masculine for both of you, correct?
Yeah.
So Nicholas, maybe tell us a little bit about how your masculine FI expresses itself or coordinates with your NE or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's stubborn.
It's stubborn.
Yeah.
Do you have like
I mean,
value system? Do you like to ingest, like consume values, consume things that you like? Are you able to really see something is more important than another? Are you always judging between what's more important?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And and I also Dave was saying in one of the classes that the FI's way, or masculine FI's way to say something's stupid or dumb is to say that I don't care about it, and that's 100%. That's also how I walk around. Like,
right.
That's you shouldn't care. I don't care about that. I don't care about that. It's the same as saying that it's stupid, and that's that's really exactly, yeah, and that's really how I see it. That was pretty accurate, at least for me.
Right.
So.
Okay. Do you see it connected to your identity in any way, the FI? Are you in touch with it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, I guess it is my identity. So, and it's, yeah, and I guess my identity is, whatever I like, which is, all kinds of random stuff.
And if someone, what if someone were to like sort of dismiss one of your values or one of your likes and say, "Oh, you like that? I don't like it. That's worthless, or that's useless."
I don't care. And I guess that's me saying that person's dumb. Right. That's what I said now.
You don't care about them.
Yeah, no, I don't care. I don't care that they don't care about it, because they don't. Well, I guess in my mind, I'm like, oh, they don't understand why I care about it. And so then I don't care. I just don't care if they don't like it or not.
Right. What about you, Laura?
I have a different reaction, somewhat different, because I do care. And I feel like sometimes I care too much. Now, I may still think that they're stupid for not caring, but if someone, shits on a value or something I like that's really important to me, I kind of take it personal.
Yeah.
And I can get kind of defensive and say, you don't know what you're talking about, you don't understand this.
Yeah, that's what I say in my head, but I never verbalize that, and I guess that's maybe blast. I'm like, okay.
So I'm not, or maybe it's because it's more of a demon for me, and so then I think, well, at first I may think, oh, they're stupid. They don't have a clue. I don't actually say that to them, but I definitely kind of think it. And then I realize, whoa, well, what if I'm wrong? What if this thing is kind of worthless and I'm valuing something that's kind of worthless, and then I feel kind of almost ashamed of what I value. It's weird, and so I maybe that's
so like.
Is that because it's a demon, or?
Yeah, I would almost like looking back at my FI, the younger years. Like I would say I'm pretty naive. I mean, pretty much, I just do my own thing. And now when I'm getting older, like my FI would just latch onto something, and I'll just stick with that forever. And that's like a few years later, that's like, okay, that was a bit naive and stupid to just stick with this all the time. And that's what I feel like with my project that I'm working with. I'm like, I was so naive getting into this, but my FI just kept me in the entire time. But I'm really happy, because I would never have gotten this far if I didn't have that FI that is naive and a bit stupid. That keeps me on track. But someone much more rational would just give up on it because it's too hard. But now I'm so deep into it, so I just I just have to keep on going.
Yeah, I kind of relate to that too. It's kind of like when I find something that I really, really like, it sort of, it can be kind of all encompassing sometimes, and sometimes I kind of, I don't know, I get kind of overly obsessed about it, go too far with it, and
yeah, maybe I think that's a MFI thing then. Sounds like
it could be, yeah, because one time I got kind of mad at somebody. She kind of, this person had used to be really active in the unofficial objective personality group, and then later on posted some other, this was just somebody else posting some other video about it, and she just kind of shit on the whole theory, and I got kind of mad at her, and then she blocked me, and it was just like, because it was like I felt like she shitted on some value because like the objective personality community is important.
Took it personally.
The system to me, and I invested a lot of personal time and energy into it. And I mean that's.
What about?
And then and then I wanted to apologize to her, but then I couldn't because she blocked me. So then I talked to this one other person that knew this person. Well, is there anything you can do? Work something out, because I didn't mean to say what I said, and I kind of said, well, I don't want to hear your opinion, and then I didn't, it was kind of the heat of the moment thing. I didn't really mean to say that, and I kind of wanted to make it up, but
yeah, it's a whole sensory process there. Like, it's a whole series of events. What if someone were to sort of accuse you of not understanding something? Would you also take that personally, or that's just?
I can, yeah. If anybody calls me an idiot.
Not an idiot, not understanding. Like, you don't understand.
That not as much, but I mean, if they imply that I'm stupid or ignorant in any way, I will get very defensive.
Right.
I mean, but just not understanding it. I mean, not for just understanding it, but if I think that they think I'm stupid or something, that's different. Then
what about you, Nicholas? If someone accuses you of not understanding something, do you take it personally?
No.
I'll just kind of ask more questions to clarify it. And
what about if someone accuses you of not knowing something or not having enough knowledge in a certain area? Would you take that?
That could be upsetting, especially if it's an area that I've spent a lot of time on trying to understand. Maybe that's kind of where demon consume comes in too. Because consuming is kind of like trying to take in information and trying to understand it, and then
I'm thinking it's more like the fact that it's SI and that it's connected to your identity. But
okay, yeah. I suppose it could be that too.
If someone accuses you of not knowing a piece of information or not knowing something that you should be knowing, would you take that personally?
Well, I don't know if I take it personally. I'd feel embarrassed. I'd feel embarrassed because I should know this. I feel, I'm responsible for knowing.
Responsible for knowing.
For knowing it, for understanding it.
Yeah, for me, it's like if someone says that I don't understand something, or like I know if I understand it or not. I mean, I guess that's lead consume. Most of the time, if I know what it's like to really dive deep into consuming something. So if I feel that I don't, I have a pretty good grasp if how my knowledge level of a certain subject, because I have certain subjects that I'm very, very, very deep into because of that lead consume. So and the FI. So when I like something, I really go deep. So so if someone says that I don't understand something, if it is something where I feel that I actually know a lot, I wouldn't take it personally then either, because then I would just. If it was a subject that I know I haven't spent enough time to actually know this subject, then I don't take it personally. And if it is a subject that I know, I don't take it personally either, because I just then it's just a difference of opinion. I mean, I feel that I've done my research, and if we don't agree, then we don't agree. I mean, there's not much else to do.
What about if someone says to you, like, you don't know enough in this subject, and it's something that you think that you do know well? Is that something that's upsetting?
For me? For who?
Because it's like I invested a lot of...
Oh, yeah, okay.
Well, because I invested a lot of time and energy, and into it, and I suppose maybe it's kind of tied to my identities, somewhat.
Right.
And I mean, there's a lot of different factors, but I mean, but it's like I put all this time and energy, and you're still not saying it's good enough.
Yeah. So
What's
Laura,
up with
can we just let Nicholas answer that question really quick?
Okay,
Yeah,
enough blasting.
I would say if someone were to tell me that, I would say, okay, give me some knowledge and tell me why I'm not seeing the whole picture here. I mean, if you're saying that I don't understand or don't have enough, if I don't know this subject but this other person does, please inform me. I mean, I'm open to hear. I'm open to learn this new thing that you're telling me that I don't know. And then so then I wouldn't take it personally either. I would take it as an opportunity to learn.
What if I were to say you don't know enough about Swedish history?
I would say that's fine. I don't know anything about Swedish history.
Okay.
But if you would say, yeah.
Go ahead.
But if you would have said that I don't know anything about the periodic table or the personality systems, or I would be a bit doubtful, and then I would talk to you and see, okay, what do you have to say? Would
you take it personally?
I know? I wouldn't take it personally.
Like under the surface?
I would like to dig deeper and see why do you think I don't know anything about this? I would like to hear your this person's like reasons and
reasons.
Or just no, I mean the reason someone says that to you is because they obviously think they know something that I don't know. So then I want to know what you know that I don't know. Like, give me that information, and then we'll see if we're on the same level, or if you know a lot more than me, or if I know. Let's find out.
Okay. Let's talk quickly about TE without going too deeply into it. So are you aware of your TE, Laura? Like, are you aware of how often you use it and how it works for you, or?
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of always thinking a lot about how things work for everybody. You know, I want this to work for everybody. I want it to make sense for everybody, and you know, I often just spot things, I mean, without even trying to do so, and it's like this, you know, this statement isn't very clear. People aren't gonna understand it. You know, there's a typo here, and it can mislead people. So it needs to be fixed. And I think that's the SI and the TE.
Yeah.
Kind of coming together.
Thanks, Laura. Nicholas, do you relate to what Laura was saying there?
About no, I was sorry. I was writing down a few other things about TE. I was thinking about myself.
You're doing
no, but how I was preparing for the next question for me. I'm sorry. Okay. No, because you were asking her about her TE, and I noticed.
Tell me about your TE then.
Yeah, because I noticed that the previous question you were asking me, that was my TE coming out. That's my play TE, but I'm not very good at it. I mean, I have blast. So that part of me, I have a difficult like if someone were to challenge me on something that I know or don't know, sure, I would be open to learn more, but then my ability to blast about it or actually tell someone about it, that's a bit difficult for me. And I guess that Laura, you're much better than me there at getting the information out. I mean, with blast first. So yeah, I envy that. That's great.
What about your TE? Are you aware of it, Nicholas, of how it works for you, or how it expresses itself?
Yeah, I mean, I see TE quite a lot in my life. Yeah, I feel like, at least. No, just I mean, having a play as the second animal. I mean, it gets activated quite a bit, and they're just working and figuring things out, trying to solve problems I have with the business I'm trying to start. So I mean, yeah.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about your savior and demon animals before we sign off.
Okay.
So consume. We talked a little bit about your consume, Nicholas. I want to know how it's difficult for you, Laura. Your consume, and do you see consume as consuming values and concepts that are important to you?
I don't know that I really consume values. I mean, maybe I'm just not consciously aware of it. I mean, I do consume, I mean, concepts, like especially typology related concepts, or concepts related to my areas of interest. I think where the demon consume kind of comes in, and I talked to Dave Powers about this, and he says, well, you kind of tend to go through your same boxes over and over again, and it's kind of more refining what you kind of know, and going kind of digging deeper rather than doing something totally new or different, which I do have that tendency to do. And sometimes I can get easily overwhelmed by too much information, or if it's not presented very concisely, I get kind of impatient like that. Like I don't want
Nicholas,
to.
do you feel yours is more broad?
My consume more.
Yeah. Do you feel like it's very broad? You're consuming many different.
It's extremely broad. It's stupid at times. I mean, I can start watching like every month I have a new thing I'm watching on YouTube. Like I have from marble races of marbles, competing down a hill, see which one wins, to now after typing Kobe Bryant, I'm obsessed with basketball. I've been watching.
Oh, wow.
I know everything about basketball now. So I mean, there's always something new. That just sparks my interest, and it's maybe that's interesting. I mean, so I'll watch it, and then something will just spark my interest in it, and then I'll just get obsessed with it. So that's how I see it working.
So you guys should both have the same sort of energy levels. Play, sleep, your two middle animals. You should be sort of balancing those pretty well and being energy dominant. Do you see that happening at all in your life? Play above sleep. Nicholas, I see you understand it quick, so go into it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, I see it very, very clearly. I sleep and I play.
Yeah.
And that's like I can see it, especially comparing with people who I know have who are information dominant, and they're much more bulldozing forward. They can go without sleep and stuff like that. I can't do it. So yeah.
What about you, Laura? Do you feel like you have the same energy level as Nicholas? And
I think we're pretty similar, yeah. And I do feel like I'm pretty balanced between the two. Like I'm not just, sitting on the couch all day vegging out as a couch potato, but I'm not a crackhead either, like the stereotype that the sleep lasts. So I think I'm pretty balanced between expending energy and then relaxing. And
okay.
I definitely need like 7 hours of sleep a night, or I get grouchy and I don't physically feel good. I'm in a bad mood. So
nice. Okay, so we're almost out of time. But I hope were you guys able to see each other, sort of thing? Do you think the triangulation sort of worked?
Really interesting. Yeah.
Do you have any last comment to say or to ask each other before we sign off?
No, not really.
No? Laura, do you have something that you want to ask Nicholas a little bit about his functions, about the other side of the coin?
I think you explain it quite well. I think it's interesting because we use the same functions, but they're in reverse order, and our animals are kind of different. So it's just interesting in hearing from the other side. I
agree. Yeah, it's fascinating hearing people with the exact same functions. Yeah, it's really interesting because with the other function, it really is like a different language. But it's cool when you see someone with your same functions.
Yeah. So you were able to understand. Okay, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
I have completely opposite functions than you guys. So
yeah, I know.
Yeah, cool. You guys noticed. Okay, really quick. Nicholas has something to promote. You want to lift up your mug? Yeah, really quick.
No, okay, but I have an Instagram page called The Atomic Heroes. Go check it out. The Atomic Heroes, one word on Instagram. Okay. I'll be launching the Instagram within a few months, but you can go in and follow. I have a bit of content there already.
Okay, links in the description. And you're releasing a periodic table with cartoon characters on it for kids and stuff.
Yes,
eventually a book and stuff. So check that out. And have a good one. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you guys.
Yeah. Bye.
Thanks, Benjamin.
Bye. Have a good one.
Laura. Bye-bye.